Alright, hey guys, I'm back. 2 minutes later. I'm gonna be running through the city, the second floor. So, if you're just tuning in, we're one floor deep in Slay the Spire, doing a run with the Silent on Ascension 10, the maximum level, as the game is helpfully displaying us. Our relics so far are the starting relic, bronze scales, which is pretty nice. Pen nib, which is sort of useless for our deck build, but you know, comes in handy sometimes. Tiny chest, which again is very marginal. Bird-faced urn, which is great, it's letting us heal. And Tingsha, which is again marginal, and Cursed Key, which is extremely important for us. Even if it's going to give us curses, getting an extra mana every turn is going to help us a lot in fights. And here is our deck. We are well on our way to a sort of poison build. We have double escape plan and a noxious fumes. The cards I've upgraded so far are neutralize and noxious fumes, and I'm just going to be looking to upgrade some defensive cards as we move on forwards. We fought the slime boss. Was our boss for Act 1. We I fought him basically as badly as possible. Took massive damage, actually beat him at exactly 1 HP, which has put us at 51 instead of 67, which is where we should be going into this floor, so hopefully I can tighten up my play and not have to deal with, you know, being bad. Shaming myself and my ancestors. Gonna have to pick a path here. So, the most question marks we can get is this right-hand path so far. Does have 2 normal fights and 2 elites. I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 elites if I take the left-hand path. And I do like, especially on the first and second floors, to fight as many elites as possible. So I think that is the path that we're going to take. Hit up this merchant, this question mark, and this elite, then I'll be able to rest here probably. I will almost certainly have taken enough damage to need to rest by the time we get to that point. And then I can also, if I get here and don't have a lot of health, I can choose to not take that elite fight. This is a pretty risky path though. Not many fires. I could take the safer path and just do the right-hand path. But, what's the point of safety, right? We're here to play exciting games. Okay, well, Caltrops is really good against these enemies because they attack 6 times. So we're going to be doing that, and they will take 6 damage for every attack with the Caltrops and the Thorns. I'd love these enemies, actually. This is a really, like, a fun fight, trying to string together 3 damage to stun them. Because if you hit them 3 times in one turn with an attack, they get stunned and fall to the ground, becoming less powerful and also losing a turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Caltrops, trying to regain some of the health that we've lost. Escape plan, because, you know, it's free. Can I 1,000 cuts this turn? No, I'll take a damage. I'm trying to think if I can neutralize. The enemies always round their damage down, so 1 times 6 minus 25% is going to be 0 times 6. So I'm only taking 6 damage this turn, but I only have 5 defense cards here. So if I play this, I won't have enough mana to defend myself fully. So I am going to just neutralize, I guess this one. I guess it doesn't matter, actually, which one I choose to neutralize. And then I'm going to do blur, defend. And I'm blurring here just to make sure that I have armor for next turn. When this guy will attack me. These 2 are just going to kill themselves on my thorns, though. This fight is very trivial when you have Caltrops, so we're just going to make sure to play my power to gain health, and then just defend up as much as possible. Oh, I actually shouldn't have played that. I wasted my pen nib attack. Whoops. I'm just going to slow down and concentrate and try not to keep playing bad. Alright, so looking at what we have here, apply 2 weak, gain 12 block from leg sweep is basically a double block and it weakens the enemy. I actually don't mind having one of these in my deck. Backstab looks really good, but it just doesn't really help like what our deck does, so I'm not too worried about backstab. Dagger throw similarly is nice for cycling and really good in the decks that care about discarding. We don't. So it's between leg sweep and skip. I'm going to take leg sweep because just having one big block in the deck is something that I don't hate. But that is probably the last card we're adding to our deck unless it's something very strong. Here I can just start getting my power online at least, and I will do neutralize. This guy resists debuffs, so he's not going to get neutralized this turn, and then I'm going to do blur and defend. Not going to leg sweep because he won't be weakened anyways, and I'd rather have 10 armor next turn. And you can see already the having 4 mana a turn is coming in very handy. Draw first, as is very typical practice in card games. Get this noxious fumes going, and I might as well start working away at this guy's armor. We probably won't kill him through armor, probably the poison will kill him. Poison pierces armor, but it doesn't hurt to start working away at it. Here, unfortunately, I think we're taking some damage. I do, because he has made us fragile, so it's harder for us to armor up this turn, and I can't even weaken him because he still is resisting negative effects. So I can do 9, I can do 15, 17 block, taking 22 this turn. Or I can get a Caltrops down. Wait, oh, I have 4 mana. I can do 20 block, taking 22. Oh, perfect. So we actually don't have to take damage this turn. No, wait. 20 block, taking 22. We're taking 2. I can't count. I'm hoping to reshuffle my deck to get that Caltrops back so that I can regain some health. I'm gonna neutralize him and take less damage, and then I'll just play all my defensive cards. Being fragile frail is extremely dangerous for this deck because we're so reliant on blocking. Eight times 2 coming our way. Can get a leg sweep in there. And that defends 8 times 2, so we'll do a strike. Continuing to work away at his armor, although again, that doesn't matter. But what does matter about these strikes is I'm stacking back up this pen nib effect, so for the next fight, I'll be able to trigger a double damage attack. One reason we want to get all these strikes out of our deck is that it makes escape plan worse when you can fail to find armor off of it. Get this Caltrops out here to heal 2. And then blur. Strike, like we were talking about, just want to stack that up. And survivor. And then this guy will die to our thorns. Oh no, he won't, because he's blocking. And here we can just end turn and let him die to poison. Alright, so gained a little bit of health back in the first 2 fights, which is not bad. Let's look at what we get. Concentrate, discard 3 cards, gain 2 mana. That's good in the sort of heavy draw version of this deck, but we're not that version. And these 2 cards I think are pretty bad. The discard cards I've found horrendously bad, and Quick Slash is fine, but not exciting, especially in this low attacks version of the deck. So we're gonna just skip card and keep on keeping on. what do we find? Navigating an unlit street, you come across several hooded figures in the midst of some dark ritual. As they approach, they turn to you in eerie unison. I love this event. They're like just some vampires. So what we could do is remove all strikes, obtain 5 bites, and bite is a very powerful attack. We have still left in the deck 3 strikes, so we have 2 more cards. This event can completely transform the way your deck plays out, but we also lose 30% max HP, which is, what, 23? Going down to 40 max HP. I think max HP isn't super valuable, but I think just having bites in our deck isn't actually great for our deck, and we already have a way to heal. I'd be more inclined to take this event if I didn't have this urn, which is healing us for a bunch each combat. So I think, as sad as it makes me, because I do love this event, we're going to refuse the vampires. Alright, we got the classic tank healer combo. Gonna neutralize this guy and get him a little weaker. Gonna do defend, defend, and then start working away at this mystic. Mystic's gonna up their strength, which is very annoying. But luckily we do get our Noxious Fumes, which is all we're really looking for with this deck most of the time. Get that Caltrops online, and I will leg sweep this guy just to keep him weakened. They're gonna do block, and I think the Mystic is gonna just heal both of them, which is very annoying. But gotta make sure that I keep this guy as weak as possible. So we have pretty easy 1000 cuts leg sweep this turn, just making sure to keep blocking. Almost back to full health already because bird-faced urn. We'll let this guy hit us a bit, take damage, and then start stacking up poison. The problem is these guys get stronger every turn, or every few turns. So we're gonna take a pretty big hit this turn while we're still building up. Block. Get this block, and strike, and strike. Take a bunch of damage from this attack. You always take a bunch of damage from this encounter. Mostly because at this point in the deck's life cycle, we have not had a chance to stack up our defenses as much as we'd like. Because we had to get, like, Noxious Fumes and stuff like that upgraded. And in our next few upgrade cycles, we're going to be able to improve the defensive strength of the deck in such a way as to make it very difficult for us to lose, like, to take damage on fights like this. Being frail is, again, extremely annoying. But we're now at the point in this fight where, now that that guy's dead, we can just wait and let the poison do its thing. You can see why Noxious Fumes is so good. It means that I don't have to spend mana on doing damage every turn. I can just spend all my mana on defending. We can actually just go strike, strike, and he'll die to poison. Alright, so we took a big hit that fight. Lost, what, 13 health? But could be worse. Accuracy is very important if we were the Shiv version of this deck, but we are not. Crippling Poison, I don't mind getting this once it's upgraded, but I'm not going to grab it now. But I will take a dodge and roll, probably, because it's just a nice way to stack up blocks, especially in combination with Blur. Then we're going to head to this Merchant. Alright, what you got for me, Merchant? Another accuracy. Man, we could have had a sick Shiv deck with double accuracy. At the start of boss combats, heal 25. I do really like that. Every time you play 3 skills in a single turn, deal 5 to all enemies. That's also very nice. But again, like both of these I think are sort of luxury items. Raise your max HP by 10. Our max HP is pretty low, but you know, again, kind of luxury items, I think. So if I was going to buy one of these, it would probably be Letter Opener, but I think instead what we're going to do this turn is, or at this shop, is remove a strike and pick up this Deflect, because I do like having a Deflect in my deck. A free block is just very nice to have. I wish I had more money and could pick up one of these relics in addition, but failing that, just gonna have to move on. This guy will attack me twice. Do I need to poison him? I could throw the poison potion if I think I'm gonna get really hurt by this guy, which might be wise. First things first, I'm gonna neutralize him. So I'm taking 10 this turn. I think we can probably save the poison potion for the next boss, but we'll see. I may regret that decision. Backflip, and we'll get Noxious Fumes out there. Caltrops out there. Caltrops is very good against this guy because he likes to attack several times in a turn. And I'm going to go ahead and just use Defend. Doesn't matter. Just use Defend. Make sure to block all the damage. This guy has a special ability where every time I take unblocked damage from him, I take a wound, which is extremely annoying. So I have to be very careful to block all the damage from this guy. I'm not playing 1000 Cuts this turn. Now I am, actually. I wasn't going to play 1000 Cuts this turn because I needed to defend for 15 with all 3 defends, but now I can do 1000 Cuts, defend, defend, deflect, and that's why I like to have a deflect in the deck. This guy is also going to take 18 from bashing his stupid dagger against our pointy face. 24 this turn, but the neutralize cycled back around. I'm actually going to strike first to get double damage on the higher damage attack. Gonna take a hit this turn, but won't be so bad. Taking 4. And as you can see, our deck starts to get worse because it gets full of wounds. The most important card for the deck that we don't have yet at this point is Footwork, which increases our dexterity for the rest of the combat, and that would be extremely nice to have because it makes all these like bad blocking cards do a lot more blocking. Just playing out my hand here. Get to keep a little bit of armor for next turn. This is going to be a pretty good Book of Stabbing fight. Having these caltrops has actually come in handy a little bit more than I thought it would. Definitely leg sweeping, because gotta keep him as weak as possible. And having the armor carry over from last turn thanks to this blur has really helped us out. Oh yeah, doing 3 to him every time I discard with Survivor. Need to keep that in mind, because it could come up. So, took 2 this fight, gained 6. Looking pretty good. Really want to find Footwork. Whenever you add a power card to the deck, it is upgraded. That's a really useful ability. I wish we'd gotten it earlier. Really useful relic. I could get an upgraded Poison Stab. Not something that I think the deck needs, although it's not the worst. Backflip. I do like having a second backflip in the deck, although an upgraded one would be much better. I think at this point I want to just stop adding cards unless they're really useful, so we're gonna just pass. Head to this campfire. I'm not too injured, so I'm gonna smith. We're gonna upgrade this, I want to upgrade leg sweep too, but I'm gonna upgrade dodge and roll first because it gains 4 block when you upgrade it, whereas if I upgrade, say, defend, it goes from 5 to 8, which is only 3 block. So upgrading dodge and roll is really nice value. Now we'll fight another elite. I hate these guys. They do so much damage, it is very obnoxious. So I think this is where I'm going to use my poison potion first off, but also let's neutralize. Definitely playing Noxious Fumes, definitely playing Deflect. I'm taking 15, 22 this turn. That's 6, so I can block for 20. And I'm going to throw a poison potion and start getting this guy down. This isn't as bad as it could be, because we're getting 6 block next turn, we're only taking 2. But the thing about this fight is that this Taskmaster starts adding wounds to your deck, which makes future turns really difficult. Here, I can play... Well, am I playing 1,000 Cuts? Probably not, because I expect I'll draw into a defense ability with Escape Plan, or at least I hope I will. I did. So that means I'm going Leg Sweep, weakening this guy. I have 21 block, and I'm taking 22. So I only need to block once more, so we'll do Caltrops and Survivor. Survivor over Defend, because I have this Ting Sha for 3 damage. Pity we don't get the 1,000 Cuts out yet, but what can you do? These guys are just annoying because they fill your deck with wounds, they all attack every turn, so you have to just keep up a constant, very high level of block. They do a ton of damage, they make you vulnerable for even more damage. I'm going to start with Backflip this turn. Escape Plan, hoping not to draw that. I actually think I triggered a shuffle there, which I shouldn't have. And lost myself 3 armor for no reason. Some more bad plays coming out from yours truly. So here's where we start to feel the pain of this encounter. Even with Strike, I couldn't have killed this guy before he attacks, so defending this turn was correct, but we're taking 20. Now he will die to the poison, though. Here, it's just defend, defend, deflect. We'll take 1, and I'm going to start picking away at... this guy's actually really hurt already, so I'm just going to start trying to get him off the field. Normally I do them in the order of Slaver, Taskmaster, this Slaver, Taskmaster, this Slaver. Because this one, the like weird one with the pointy stick at the back, will give you very annoying status effects, like Vulnerable, which increases all the damage you take by 50%. And this one fills your deck with wounds, which is pretty obnoxious. So here I can do... I only need to do 1 damage to this guy, so 1,000 Cuts plus Escape Plan means this guy is going to die on his turn, so then I can neutralize this guy and then just play my other 2 cards. Survivor, discarding Wound, dealing 3 randomly to, unfortunately, that guy, but who cares. We've now won this fight, and just let the poison do its work. You can see, again, like the deck is starting to come together. Once I get these cards upgraded, we'll be in a really good spot to just tank through every fight. You can now remove cards from your deck at rest sites. This is a nice relic sometimes, but I find I either need to heal at rest sites or want to upgrade a lot. Add a card to the deck. Footwork, footwork, footwork. No. Calculated Gamble Plus is one that I don't hate. I think I will add that. Will I? It does combo nicely with Ting Sha, but we don't have any source of extra draw except for Ring of the Snake. It's great for cycling through if we get combos with it, but we don't really currently have any combos with it. There's some like infinite combos you can build with this card. That being said, it is a very powerful card. Lets us cycle through the deck. I think I'm gonna pass though. That could be a mistake, but I really do want to keep my deck small, under 20 cards, if at all possible. And I'm still hoping to find... Oh no, right, I forgot we were getting curses. Every time you play 3 attacks in a turn, get 4 block. We're never gonna do that. This is the most powerful relic you can get for the Shiv version of the Silent, but for the Poison version, it's quite bad. Tragically. We are hoping not to take too much more damage going into the next few fights. Trying to get my my powers online here. Think. Do I strike? Yeah, I guess I strike. And dodge and roll. This guy is pretty annoying for this deck because we have a lot of free cards. So he's going to make all our cards cost a random amount. And here we're actually going to take a bunch of damage because we drew no block and have this decay in our deck. That being said, we get to go 1,000 cuts. Do I just gain 4 here with deflect or get out noxious fumes? I think, I mean, it's only 2 less health and it's going to help us win the fight faster, so get that noxious fumes out there. It's possible I shouldn't have played 1,000 cuts. I should have just played deflect plus fumes. Yeah, now that I think about it, that would have been better. Escape plan, even for 1 mana, is still pretty good. The random costs are very annoying. That just makes this fight like all RNG. But now we just play as much stuff as fast as possible. Hope this guy kills himself on our poison. 27. Luckily we did draw neutralize to reduce that by quite a bit. This run is starting to go a little worse, I think mostly because I'm making misplays, but also because we haven't found any footworks yet, which are really important to this deck. Let's do the 0 mana backflip first, then I can leg sweep, and I will probably just blur. I'm going to make sure that I have armor every turn. Decay is annoying, we really want to get that out of our deck as quickly as possible. This cursed key screwing us up. And Survivor. Poison stacking up though. I wouldn't mind getting a second Noxious Fumes also, just to make the kills quicker. Dodge and roll plus. Deflect, escape plan, defend. We'll take another 1 here. Really hate losing health on these non-elite enemies, but this is one of the worst non-elite encounters. One of the more dangerous ones. A deadly poison does help a lot with bosses. And in absence of a Noxious Fumes, I think I'm actually going to take an upgraded Deadly Poison because it's already upgraded. This isn't like an amazing card, but given that we don't have a second Noxious Fumes, I think this is the next best thing that we can get for the deck, and we just want to make sure that we like have quick kills on some of these guys that we don't currently have the ability to kill quickly. This is the fight that's gonna be real dangerous for us. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this poison potion right away. Try to get rid of these this gremlin as quickly as possible. I'm then going to get 1,000 cuts and noxious fumes out there, and I'll blur so that just get 5 armor next turn. Gremlins defending their leader. It's nice that we got 2 shield gremlins. That's not so bad for us. Here, we're taking a giant hit. Or I should say, 3 big hits. Gonna get that poison out there, though. I'd like to kill this guy if I can, because then he's likely to summon more guys instead of attacking. Caltrops. Regaining a little bit of health. Escape plan. Escape plan. Leg sweep. We'll just weaken you. And I don't have a blur up, so defend is useless this turn, so we will just strike this guy. This guy will die on his turn. This guy's gonna keep stacking up strength, annoyingly. Just no attack this turn. Okay, good. As long as he's not attacking, we're in actually pretty good shape this for this fight, because we are stacking up poison pretty well. And that's why I picked up the deadly poison. I guess it's actually better to do Survivor for 3 random damage than another 1 damage to everything. Okay, random damage missed. It was a 50% shot at 3 damage to this guy, which is what I was hoping for. And then we just need to continue to defend ourselves and let the 26 poison that we've stacked up on that guy go to work. Thousand cuts doing decent AoE damage to all these guys as they batter themselves to pieces on our sharp hide. Alright. Need to do damage to this guy. 28. Can I drop him this turn? No, not well weakened, right? Because 48, I need to do 21, so definitely not. I'll start with backflip. Oh no, I drew decay. Oh, I can discard it. Then I will leg sweep. Survivor discarding decay. Do 3 random damage to something. Hey, it hit correctly. So this guy will take 28, and I think he will then die in... No, he's going to hit me 3 times. So we are going down to 12. We got the best relic, though. This relic is great for us. It basically is a free block every turn. This one, I wish we'd found this earlier, because it's super good in the early game and gets a little worse later game. Plated armor, basically, at the end of your turn, you just get 5 free block, and if you take damage, it reduces by 1. And we found a footwork, which is upgraded thanks to our frozen egg. Alright. Good fight. Took a lot of damage, but I'm probably going to skip this elite, because we actually don't need more relics, and we do need health before we try to take on the boss with 12 health. Ooh, 85 gold for a relic? Don't mind if I do, friends. If you end your turn without block, gain 6 block. Nice. This gives us some free block sometimes. Not super valuable for us, but not, you know, the worst. Really looking for another... when obtained, brew 5 random potions, which we can only carry 3, so this is a real bad relic. I don't hate a well-laid plans. It's a nice power to have. It's free. Gives us a little bit of extra draw every turn. This relic, I don't think we need so much. So I think what we're going to do is we'll start by removing decay from our deck, because that's very important. And then pick up this well-laid plans, I think, because it's a free upgrade and free 2 health every fight. And it's a good good card that we don't mind having. Deck is still larger than I'd like. We've had to remove a bunch of curses instead of strikes, so we're still stuck with these 2 like basically useless cards in the deck. Everything else here is something that we don't mind having, although I wouldn't mind getting these defends either upgraded or out. But having this footwork will help a lot. Anyways, take this fight down, try to get this this snake plant out of our way. Whew boy, that's a lot of damage on turn 1. We're gonna start with leg sweep. Try to reduce that damage a bit. We will be gaining 5 at the end of the turn. Escape plan. Did not hit, unfortunately, but we do get to well-laid plans and gain 2 health for free. We will then go with dodge and roll and get this Noxious Fume started. Have 23 block, and we also get to choose 2 cards to keep in our hand. So for us, this is going to be just Deadly Poison and Blur. Make sure we have things to block with. Because of well-laid plans, we get to choose 2 cards to keep in our hand. This does not reduce the number of cards that we draw, so we're actually going to draw up to 7, which is why that's such a powerful effect. I did not realize that the first time I saw that card, so I was very confused. I was like, why do I have so many cards in my hand? Alright, we get to pick up 2 health. Might as well just pick up 2 more health. And then we get these defends going. Actually didn't need that second one, I could have poisoned, but what can you do? It's always correct to keep 2 cards no matter what. There's no reason to shuffle cards back into your deck. Deadly Poison, and I will play Survivor to... I guess I have Strike, so I didn't actually need to do that, but... I'll keep Defend. Just make sure I have block in hand. Opponent's gonna hit me with a bunch of annoying status effects, but the poison is starting to stack up, so we're getting there. I have 5, plus 5, plus... Okay, I have plenty even with 1,000 cuts, so we can gain 2 health here. Just need to make sure I'm defending for the maximum every turn. But I also want to make sure I'm gaining 2 health for the next fight. And he bites the spikes and dies. So we get a poison potion, which will be nice for the boss. Yeah, I'll take another deflect. I'm actually quite tempted to Smith or Toke here. Just 22 health for the boss. That's so greedy, but I'm very tempted to do it. I'm gonna rest. I think that might actually, like, genuinely be the wrong decision. Because 20 health is not that bad. We're gonna heal after the boss anyways. But I am a little afraid of just, like, being stupid, ending the run and not being able to bring you guys part 3, which would suck. Alright, we got the Collector, so we're gonna get, as usual, get our powers online at the beginning of these fights. I'm gonna not neutralize this turn because I can keep it in hand, but I will go strike, and I will play this Blur here. I want to keep this in hand to make sure that the weakness effect actually applies to, like, when he's attacking. Such as, for example, right now. Let's get this footwork out. I guess I should have thought about whether I was 1,000 cutsing before I did that, but I am not 1,000 cutsing. Do a dodge and roll here. So 19, that's 18. So I need 14 more blocks, so 2 blocks. Yeah, I'll just do block. And these guys are going to start spiking themselves to death real quick. If I'm lucky this turn, I can, because I'm getting 9 free block, plus 5 free block, so I can start to get 1,000 cuts online, which I should be able to do. Yeah, see, so this is why I was saying it wasn't necessarily right to rest, even though it looked obvious to rest, and I assume everyone in the comments is going to be like, of course you have to rest there, and would have been really mad if I hadn't. But, like, we're just not going to take damage this fight, so resting basically just cost me a free upgrade or a removal of a strike. It's going to make my deck a little worse for the next floor. Yeah, I guess I might as well escape plan, looking for this. Not going to do the second escape plan, I will just keep escape plan deflect in hand. This guy's gonna buff all of his little buddies and himself, I think. I actually don't know what this guy's patterns are, I haven't fought him that much. But I assume, yep, plus strength to everything. That's pretty standard for these bosses. Luckily, I can clear all the trash this turn, because 1,000 Cuts does AoE. So let's get Deadly Poison online to start. Escape plan. Dodge and roll. And I will... might as well play Survivor. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just gonna play Survivor. I'm planning to keep both deflects in hand. Let these guys die to poison, let this guy start ticking down. I don't know what this attack does. It's, you are mine! Oh god, it's a lot of nails. Okay, so we are vulnerable and fragile, which is not great for us, but hey, at least he's not attacking us. Let's draw some cards. Make sure that he's weak for the foreseeable future. And I'll keep my armor. I'm making sure to keep these every turn just to make sure that I have a bunch of extra block if I happen to need it. Luckily, because I blurred last turn, I don't even have to defend this turn, but I will. We'll do leg sweep just to make sure to keep him weak forever. Keeping deflects going through the cycle. Opponent's gonna hit me for 32. We'll do escape plan. This guy's not so bad because he doesn't like add curses or anything to our deck. 32's a lot. So let's do blur, defend, and I have +5. So yep, can just pass. Man, I love having Threaded Needle. Orichalcum seems really good and is like quite good for the other class in this game, which doesn't really block. It just gives you 6 health every turn for them. But this deck never ends its turn without block, so it's just never gonna go off. I guess Survivor, discarding defend, play defend. This is just for this is all just for the 1 damage. And end turn. Let me end turn. Thank you, game. And we'll keep on keeping deflects in hand. He's gonna probably question marks is summon a bunch more guys. Luckily, we don't care about that at all. Block, 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 wait, wait! Wait, just one guy? What is this crap? the collector is, I think he's given up. I'm gonna make sure I have, dodge and roll up for next turn. That should have been a strike, actually. But it's, like, quite irrelevant at this point. Just making sure not to take, any damage on the way through this fight. Get those deflects out of our hand so I can stop clicking. And he's gonna... Man, Caltrops has gotten so many kills. Another block potion is nice. That's a good panic button. Ooh, nice. Okay, so Wraith Form's pretty nice for this deck. When you play a skill, deal 3 to a random enemy is useful. It's good. It's like helpful for killing, but After Image is insane. It's just like a bunch of block every turn. It's free health. It'll start in our hand because the upgraded version is guaranteed to start in your hand, and we have Frozen Egg. So that's going to give us a bunch of block every turn for, excuse me, for free again. At the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand. Draw one less card each turn. For every 5 cards in your deck, heal 2 HP whenever you enter a rest site, and gain energy at the start of each turn. All enemies start with 2 strength, all in extra capitals. I actually quite like Runic Pyramid. It's a non-combo with our well-laid plans, but this is a lot better than it looks. That being said, I don't know if it's great for this deck because we don't have a ton of card draw, or any card draw really, and this is best with card draw. We do have the one backflip, so I could take that. This is very strong, but also the penalty is really dangerous. +2 strength can matter a lot on a lot of fights. This one, I'm just never very impressed with. Every 5 cards in your deck, it's going to be like a heal for 10 when we enter a rest site, but that's not... that's like 2 heals for 10, so it's sort of +20 health over the course of the next floor. So we're going to go Runic Pyramid and start prioritizing getting more card draw into the deck if we can. And so that was a pretty good floor 2. I will be back with Act 3, The Beyond. Thanks for watching, guys. You know, whatever. Comment and all that stuff, and I will see you next time. Cheers. GG.